and good morning to everybody. It's a thundery, rainy day outside. So this is one of those very few occasions when it's actually nice to be able to do all of this online and not be drenched outside. So again, my name is Themin. I'm a professor at Singapore Management University, and part of my role at the university is the Dean for the Postgraduate program. So happy to have you with us today. Let me share my screen in readiness for our short little talk. Can my team just confirm that this is okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you very much. So thank you again. As I said, thank you for joining us. This is really about exploring your opportunities with the portfolio of the postgraduate programs that we have at SMU. We have a number of colleagues with us throughout the day from the various schools at SMU. So this is obviously our first one with Professor Shantanu. Professor Shantanu is the Deputy Dean of the Postgraduate Programs at Chian School of Business, and he is also a Professor of Operations Management. So he's going to talk to you later on a little bit more about management and finance. But if you could just allow me for a little while to tell you about the larger portfolio of our SMU programs and why we think this is the best opportunity for you to sort of engage with us and find out what options are available for you. So before that, just another promo as well. We are actually hosting our own Master's Day when you can, again, talk more to our faculty, our students, etc., our panel session, career coaches, and so on. And that will be on October the 3rd. I will let you know more about this at the end of today's session. But as a whole, our SMU Master's portfolio, we are obviously a management university. And the M means that we are specialized. We have a lot of things under the sun within that business, finance, management space. But obviously, we don't have the engineering and medicine and so forth because again, as I say, we are very much a specialized university. We're very, very good at what we do, but we don't do everything. Our portfolio of programs, as you can see over here, I have color-coded them according to my school colors. Doesn't really mean anything to you, but it's easier for us to distinguish where the programs are residing. So the blue ones are our business school program. And again, Professor Shantanu is from the business school. And our business school have the management programs, whether it's the EMBA, MBA, MIM, our finance portfolio, our MW wealth management, our applied finance, our quantitative finance, and what we call our specialized masters, our human capital, our communication management, our innovation programs. And these are a wide range of portfolio within the business school itself. Now, obviously, the other schools have their own specialized program in some way. The accounting school have the MP and MSA. They're both slightly different accounting programs, one's for qualifying, and one's for advancement. So that's the same as the JD and LLM. One will help you qualify to be one, and then the other one is usually done after that. Our MITB is our IT in business program. They have a variety of tracks within that program, whether it's analytic, financial, financial industry and analytics, AI, and so forth. That's within our MITB. And my colleagues at the Econ School have 2 programs there as well. So I'm just going to, sort of stop there and really just let Shantanu give the floor to Shantanu to tell you a lot more about what we have within the management and finance space. And as I said, throughout today, we have all our colleagues from all different schools sharing their exciting programs with you. So I hope to see you again later on. I'll come back to moderate some questions towards the end of today's session. I have other colleagues as well from SMU, Danny, Ivan, Mandy, Jack, that can also help answer some of your questions in the Q&A box. If you have a Q&A box at the bottom, you can do so. And again, if we are unable to resolve all your queries today, of course, there is a chat room outside the seminar presentations that you can find us, or you can always email us subsequently. So without further ado, Shantanu, I'm going to stop my screen sharing and pass to you.
Thank you, Themin. A very warm welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to see so many of you here. What I intend to do is talk a little more about the business school programs. The business school is among the first programs that we and the first school that was up under the university. We've been around for about 20 years. We are celebrating our 20th year along with the university this year as well. A very brief introduction to myself. I have been at the school for the last 7 years. I also take care of the professional doctoral programs. I have been a professor for many years at SMU and before that at INSEAD. What I will talk to you about is a bit more about our programs. What are our unique selling points? What do we offer in terms of content? As Themin said, we are indeed very good at what we do. Our MBA, EMBA are consistently ranked in the top 50 programs in the world. Our MWM ranks in the top 5 programs of the world. Our MAF ranks in the top 50 in the world. So we have had global recognition through accreditation and rankings. We've had the triple crown, which very few schools have. We've been accredited by the AACSB, by EQUIS, by AMBA. Our pedagogy is very interactive. We hope to have that kind of pedagogy repeat in this session as well. I do hope you ask your questions in the Q&A session to get ready for our programs. We have seminar-style classes, multidisciplinary learning. Our faculty are world-class. They come from the best institutions. They do the best research. We are recognized to be in the top 50 in the world in terms of research as well. One of our unique selling points is we bring our research to the classroom. Our cutting-edge research, award-winning Asian case studies is another point of our USP. We brand ourselves as the most innovative business school in Asia. We are among the youngest business schools to be in the top 50 globally. And the reason for that is that we have a very strong interaction between our research, our teaching, and our practice. Our faculty consult for the top institutions in the world, for the top companies in the world, and they bring that consulting knowledge, that research knowledge into the classroom. In addition to the content that you will gain in the sojourn of your master's degree, you will also have the opportunity to get placed in the world's best institutions. Our networking and career opportunities enable you to get contacted with the best organizations in the world. Our placement services are global. Of course, we have placement services that are very active in Singapore as well. And then finally, one of our unique selling points is our city campus. For those of you who visited us, we are located bang in the heart of the city. We are very well connected to the financial center of Singapore, both physically and through business contacts, through other connectivity like digital connectivity and so on. As I said, we were established in 2000. We are celebrating our 20th year anniversary along with the university. It's the largest school of SMU. We run many of the flagship programs of SMU. We are the largest business school in Singapore in terms of student enrollment, in terms of faculty strength. We've had excellent placement for a long period of time. We have the largest network of connections in Singapore. While we are only 20 years young, we've had a brand name and reputation in Asia and in the US. We are the youngest university globally, as I said, to gain the Triple Crown accreditation from the top 3 business school bodies, AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. So in spite of our youth, we punch way above our weight class. In terms of global recognition, rankings, and accreditation, of course, we are one of only 89 business schools in the world in the top 1% to hold all 3 accreditations. Accreditations, I think, are very important in terms of benchmarking our performance vis-a-vis the world's best business schools. Our accreditation reviews are very glowing. They speak of our achievements in very glowing terms. Globally, we are ranked 12th among specialist universities in the QS rankings. We are first in Singapore, second in Asia on the UT Dallas research rankings. We are first in Asia, third globally in the Masters of Wealth Management. We are fifth in Asia in the Masters of Applied Finance. We are second globally in the Executive MBA on the finance track in the EMBA. We are 10th in Asia, 43rd globally in the MBA. Our pedagogy is what distinguishes us from our, I wouldn't say competitors, but other schools that we consider as our benchmarks. Our style of teaching is very interactive, extremely interactive. If you sit in a class at SMU, okay, you will have access to the knowledge, not just of your professor, but the knowledge of all your classmates. We typically have many senior colleagues in your class who will have a wealth of experience. What we try and do is use the choreographic style of instruction, the inductive method of instruction, where rather than trying to tell you that this is the theory, now apply the theory, which is more deductive in nature, we focus more on the inductive method of learning, where you try to solve a business problem first, using your experience, using your knowledge, and then what we do is we develop the theory through the discussion, then we present the theory and apply the theory to the learning to show the difference between what you thought of initially with your experience, which you pretty much get very close to the solution, but the theory then enables you to look at what did we add to your knowledge, what did you know now that you don't know before. The emphasis on class participation is not just there in the learning process, it's also there in group projects and presentations. We strongly believe in the teamwork, in the data-driven management style of tomorrow, and what we try and do is inculcate soft skills. In addition to the content knowledge, we think that soft skills are what make leaders. Knowledge, content, of course, are very important. We will focus a lot on those, but eventually it's the soft skills that gets you from functional leadership roles to business leadership roles. The soft skills that we focus on, communication skills, leadership, managerial skills, teamwork, all of these will be reflected in the classroom, in the other interactions that you have with your colleagues. Our focus is on a holistic education. Our focus is on developing your skills holistically. Our focus is on making you a leader for the future, not just in terms of your own subject matter expertise, but also in terms of soft skills, also in terms of your leadership skills. No school can claim to be excellent on the basis of the excellent students alone. I agree that we've been very fortunate, we've been very lucky in the past to have some of the best students possible. Our students have gone out and achieved a lot and made a name for us. You will of course have access to a very good alumni set in your programs as well. But beyond the alumni, beyond the quality of the students, what attracts the alumni, what attracts the best quality students to us is the quality of our faculty. Our faculty come from world-class universities, come from world-class research backgrounds. As I said, for a 20-year school to rank 33rd in the global list of research on the UT Dallas ranking is unheard of. Okay, we are the highest ranked school that is less than 50 years old in terms of research. Our students learn from the best. While research is very important, we insist, we encourage our faculty to go and consult in the industry. What we want is a connection between the research and the practice knowledge in the industry. We bring both the research and the practice knowledge in the industry to the classroom. Our students learn from the best, they interact with the best faculty, interact with the best students. The classroom experience is enhanced by our small class philosophy. Unlike many other universities where they have the core courses taught in lecture theatre, 50 students, 100 students, and so on, we insist on limiting our class size. Our class size is always small across all programs. The small class size has been something that has been true by design from our very inception. Even when we designed the undergraduate program, we insisted on having small class sizes. Small class sizes enable a more holistic learning experience, enable a more interactive learning experience. It's hard to have that interactive learning experience with a class size of 150. There you will have the professor lecturing from the podium, whereas in our classes, what we have is an interactive pedagogical method. An interactive pedagogical method requires a small class size. That's one of our very important unique selling points. The second important unique selling point is our Asian-focused curriculum. This Asian-focused curriculum is supported, is buttressed by our Center for Management Practice. We have a Center for Management Practice which has created the second largest compendium of case studies in Asia. Our cases are taught globally. Our cases are published on Harvard Business School, on the ECCH, and so on. So we have access to the best management methods in Asia. What we look at is how can we learn more to globalize Asian companies? What can we do to globalize Asian companies, to Asianize global companies? If MNCs are operating here, in that case, what can we tell them about Asian markets that they can learn to get better management practices here? This Asian focus, to my mind, is rich, but it is solidly complemented by a global focus as well. We understand that Asia cannot grow without having a deeper footprint in the global economy, without understanding global cultures, global economy better. So our cases are a mix of Asian and global cases. They are created at SMU. And in terms of some of the case study examples, we have them on the screen. To my mind, we've consistently got very good feedback from our participants that we really understood Asia well when we came to our programs. Of course, all that content is wonderful, but what do you really want? You want a good job, right? We have very good network and career opportunities. Our career center offers you many different services in terms of coaching, in terms of workshops, in terms of understanding how to do a job search better. Of course, we have collaborations with the top headhunters. Of course, we have the platform where the top organizations in the world come and advertise for positions. But in addition to what we do in terms of providing you career opportunities, we also get you ready for the industry by doing coaching, networking, training sessions, interviewing skills, and so on. To my mind, any individual who aspires to be a senior leader today with a career of 40 years will change positions multiple times. It's not about just getting the first job. It's about trying to understand how do you make yourself more attractive to employers? How do you want employers to approach you rather than you having to approach employers? What we see more and more is that the era where you applied and employers responded, that's more or less being replaced by a new paradigm where employers are more active in terms of search opportunities. Employers reach out to you more, and what we want you to do is make sure that your profile is more attractive to employers. These are some of the firms that have applied, that have offered internship employment opportunities to our students in the past. The list is by no means exhaustive, but as you can see, we have the world's top organizations taking notice of us. We have reached out to the world's best organizations. They are aware of our reputation in the market. In addition to the career opportunities, for us, it's equally important that you also have global networking and learning experiences. All our programs have international study components, be they exchange programs. There are business study missions where you go out in a group to different locations. We don't limit ourselves to the US and European countries. We try to have a very diverse global networking and learning experience with visits to countries in Africa and Asia as well. Our goal is to sort of, first of all, understand business practices in different parts of the world, but also understand cultural practices, how to be culturally sensitive. So we have a number of different partnerships with companies, universities abroad, where we have opportunities for you to enhance your global learning. The strategic location is not something that we harp on for no reason. See, when people travel in the business center of the city, they see us on a regular basis. We are in the minds and hearts of the business community. The strategic location is a big plus because people understand that we are close by, that they can reach us very, very easily physically. Okay. Because of the strategic location, we have invited lots of leaders from the business center in the heart of the city to come and network with us, and it's these networking opportunities that make us closer to the industry. In terms of the portfolio of the LKCSB, we have 3 distinct general management master's programs. which are differentiated based on the degree of experience that you need. The MSc in management is for pre-experience, 1 to 3 years of experience. The MBA is for people who want to learn general management with between 3 to 7 to 10 years of experience. The executive MBA is for people with more than 10 years of experience. The finance master's portfolio, we have the MSc in wealth management. That's one of our flagship programs, one of our earliest programs. Again, that's for experienced leaders. The MSc in Applied Finance, the Global Masters of Finance, and the MSc in Quantitative Finance are for pre to mid-experienced individuals. The specialized masters we have typically for mid-experienced to senior experienced people. We offer 3 specialized masters: the Masters of Human Capital Leadership, the Masters in Innovation, and the Masters in Communication Management. In addition to our portfolio of master's programs, we also have 2 professional doctorate programs: the PhD in Business General Management that I head, and the Doctorate of Business Administration that my colleague Professor Roy Chua heads. The pre-experience programs in the General Management Suite are the MIM, and the post-experience, 3 to 10 years of experience MBA. The 10 plus years of experience is the Executive MBA. A very quick deep dive into each of our programs. The MSc in Management is offered in 2 formats, the full-time and the blended format. For the full-time format, you would be in Singapore on our campus. The blended format is offered in a mix of online content and in-class content in Singapore. The objective of the MSc in Management is to get a deeper understanding of business fundamentals. It's meant for people without work experience, 2 to 3 years of work experience. The content is fairly similar to most top school MBA programs in terms of the number of courses, the disciplinarity of the courses, the core courses, the electives, and so on. The distinction is in terms of the way the delivery is. The delivery is still very interactive, but it takes into account the lower degree of work experience. The MSc in Management includes an internship or a business practicum. It's offered for a duration of 18 months full-time program, or in the blended format in which there is a mix of online content and in-class content. The Masters in Business Administration is digital ready. It's one of our flagship programs. We are ranked globally in the top 100 in this program. There's an emphasis on leadership, communication, negotiation skills. We need a minimum experience of 2 to 3 years, and I think the MBA is something that people use to switch careers, to grow deeper knowledge for specific areas, to learn general management, soft skills, to be business leaders in general. The offering has 8 core modules with 10 electives, and you have a compulsory internship with overseas companies. Okay, this is one of the key distinctions of our program with those of others. And the flexibility that we offer in the MBA is very large. You can either do your MBA full-time in between 10 to 15 months, or you can do it in 18 months in the part-time program. The Executive MBA is our senior most program. It offers the MBA in a short format, in a intense format for senior leaders who want to look at the MBA but do not have the time or the ability to leave their current positions can do the EMBA. For those who are interested in the EMBA, this is one of our flagship programs. Our class profile typically has 17 to 20 years of experience, 75% answer to titles in the C-suite or at the director level. We have 8 segments of study with visits to the top schools in the world, in Asia, in the US for a week each, where you will do both coursework and visit companies. We are very strong believers of action learning. We have the Strategic Initiative Project. That's an action learning project that will enable you to apply what you learn in the industry during your program. The EMBA is offered in 13 months. In the finance masters, we have 3 programs in the suite where work experience is not required. We have the MSc in applied finance, full-time and part-time. This is ranked in the top 50 in the world. We have the global masters of finance, which is offered in collaboration with the Olin Business School at Washington University, St. Louis. This is offered full-time only. The MSc in quantitative finance is offered both full-time and part-time. And the work experience, the senior leader program for finance is the MSc in Wealth Management, which is ranked number 3 globally. The MSc in Applied Finance is meant for a solid knowledge skill set in finance grounding. You do not require work experience. If you have modicum amount of work experience of 3 to 5 years, this program would be suitable for you. 13 core and 3 electives. This covers the CFA and CAIA curriculum. You are ready to take the CFA exam. If you take the MSc in Applied Finance, it trains you to take the CFA exam. The program has access to global and regional financial markets. There are internship opportunities or a capstone project in this program. The program can be completed in a year or in 18 months in the part-time format. The Global Masters of Finance is offered with Washington University with segments on both campuses. Again, the work experience is not a necessity for this. The modules have some elements of the MAF and the Masters of Finance in Washington University. Again, we are very close to the industry. The internship opportunities, capstone project during the program are part of our unique selling point, what sets us apart. The program duration is 14 months full time. The Masters in Quantitative Finance, as the name suggests, has a more quantitative focus, offers local and international perspectives. No work experience is required, but this will be a bit stronger in terms of quantitative training, technology training, risk analytics management, quantitative trading, investment pricing, hedging. All these are parts of the MQF program. We have 12 courses with 3 electives. You can either finish your degree with SMU, or you have the option of going to the CAS Business School in the UK for an international track. The unique features are about designing and implementing quantitative trading strategies. The full-time program takes 12 months to complete. The part-time program takes 24 months to complete. The professional doctoral program suite requires work experience of more than 10 years. We are the only school in Singapore that offers the professional doctoral programs. We have 2 programs in the suite, the DB and the PhD GM. Both of these programs are for preeminent executive leaders in the areas of expertise. You need 10 years plus of work experience. Our focus is on multidisciplinary research, applied research, problem solving. We do provide pedagogical training for those who want to use the doctorate degree to be academics in the future. The PhD in business is a mix of theoretical and applied contributions to research. The DBA is more deductive, quantitative research. The candidature period is 3 to 5 years in the program. The program schedules in a nutshell I have over here in terms of the full-time and the part-time programs. I just want to point out that most of our programs are typically offered for a year. The part-time options enable you to take a longer period. We do require a bachelor's degree for all programs. The GMAT or the SMU admission test is something that we require for all our programs. The work experience varies, as I said in each of my program descriptions earlier. If you are interested, please drop by our booth at the Head-On Fair or contact us directly at this particular email address. With that, let me go to the Q&A section.
Thank you very much, Shantanu. And I hope everybody have a chance of actually having a look at the, even just on the management and finance portfolio within the business school. There are different programs with different objectives. There are different format and so on. And I think at the end of the day, it's really what fits you best. And I think we have quite a few questions in the chat room. My colleagues have answered some of this. So Shantanu, if you don't mind, I'll read out a few questions for you, and then we'll take a few questions maybe together. There is this question about the blended MIM. And the question there, of course, is that when you blend something, there is a percentage of blending, right? So the question there is, what percentage is blended in that sense and what is normal? Can you tell us a little bit more about the blended MIM program?
Yes, please. So Ashini, in terms of the blended percent of content, it's about 2/3 online, 1/3 offline, 1/3 in the classroom. For us, it's very important to have that in-class experience, but I wouldn't say that the online experience is in any way limiting in terms of content with either your faculty or your colleagues, because a lot of the online content is offered synchronously as well, is offered with face-to-face interaction. To my mind, the key notion of having the blended content is so that for those of you who are unable to come to Singapore for some reason, okay, you still have access to the best-in-class programs of SMU. That is the reason that we offer the blended content. So the actual percentage is about 66% online, 33% off.
Thank you. And I think you know, at the end of the day, you look at opportunities where you can find programs that are suitable for you, and I think blended is just one of those additional options. Format-wise, I mean, the degree is the same. You go through the same experience, designed by our own faculty, delivered by our faculty, and so forth. But it is an option for especially those who are unable to, partake in a good degree in their local environment. And a blended is usually a good option because then they can, still have access to an SMU degree program when they don't have to be here full time, for example. There's a couple other questions. Some of them are generic, and I think I'm happy to share some of those questions with you. So I'll take one as well, if it's okay with you, Shantanu.
Yes.
There was a question from Alice. Hi, Alice. Is SMU looking for relevant work experience or any work experience? Now, the ones that has, when Shantanu talks about required work experience, now obviously it's beneficial if you have done something in the area, but that is not required. A lot of our programs allow our students to switch. For example, they are in the programs in accounting, the qualifying accounting program, the finance program. They allows you to switch area. A lot of our MBAs comes in and have a second career. They pivot to another area, consulting, marketing, finance, etc. So you don't necessarily have to have the same area, work experience area when you come into the university. There are obviously some that would require that. An example would be our LLM program, our Masters in Laws program. They would ask that you have some legal experience. You do not have to be a lawyer, but you do have to have legal experience. So in general, Alice, the answer is no. You do not need the specific experience, but there are some programs that are looking for a little bit more of that. And to be, again, to be specific, please check with all our career counselors. They are available at our Zone 1 live chat session for the whole day later on. Shan, do you want to add anything about the experience part?
No, I agree fully. I think that the experience issue, it does help to have some knowledge if you're specialized. For example, in the human capital or innovation or communication management. But for the general management programs, it doesn't matter at all. Even for the specialized programs, if you want to switch, as Themin said, okay, you are always welcome to switch from a different area. We take a look at every application holistically. We don't apply any algorithms in terms of our admissions process.
Okay. Good. There is Nicholas asked about GMAT. GMAT or GRE or the SMU admission test is the best way to describe them is actually a standardized test. And the whole idea is that because we take students from very different disciplines, from very different universities across the world, the standardized tests like IELTS or TOEFL for English, at the undergraduate level, a lot of universities use SAT, for example. These are basically standardized tests that a lot of good quality universities use to help them with their selection process. Okay, so that's about GMAT. One question for you, Shantanu. I'll give you the hard one. How is that? The simple ones I can take. Sin Lin said, how is the curriculum adjusted due to COVID? Yes. Is there any impact from COVID? How can we learn from COVID? Something along that area, Shan. Can you?
Absolutely. So I think, Themin, we, all of us in the different schools have worked together on our response to COVID. There was another question in terms of the international missions because of the pandemic situation. In general, we try to ensure that the students' learning experience is not diminished at all. So first of all, in terms of the international missions, what we have done is that we've talked to our partners. We've offered covering courses, sort of secondary courses to make sure that you can graduate on time. But when the pandemic lifts, we will take all our students who've already graduated to that particular university abroad or for that mission abroad, which we had promised. So we try to make sure that there is no loss of experience on the COVID pandemic. Now, in terms of the classroom experience, of course, we've had to switch to Microsoft Teams, Zoom, WebEx in terms of offering our classes as other universities globally. But now most of our classes are being offered in a hybrid format. We hope to have more face-to-face contact as the pandemic situation improves further. So we've tried to have social networking sessions online. Our efforts have been to make sure that the experience is not diminished at all. Whatever we can do, I mean, graduation parties, we postponed to after the pandemic, which we will do face to face. So don't worry, whatever we owe you in terms of international face to face content, we will turn ourselves upside down to make sure that we keep our promises.
I'm mindful of the time. We have a few more minutes left. So if I just do a quick, very rapid fire answer to some of these queries. And again, for the rest of our candidates, please remember there are two opportunities for you to interact with us. There is a headhunt today, of course. And if I could just very quickly as well, before we go, remind everybody again that on, let me just play this, let me just do this. So there is a chat room session, and this is going on for the whole day for all our schools, including some questions about the PhD programs. There is also a session later on at 3:10, I think, with our PhD colleagues. But they also have the chat sessions on, so please make use of that within Headhunt. And if you want to check us out a little bit better, talk to and again, today we bring a few people to you. But if you want to see more of us, our actual students, always good to hear from students, the experience, how they juggle work, how they go through selection process, how they go through their career search process. If you're interested in any of that task, any sort of information from that angle, please come to our Master's Day on the 3rd of October. And I think details are there. Just go to our Master's Day website here on the top blue box, and you can find out more about what we have on offer. So I think with that, we'll please continue having that conversation with our advisors. I'm mindful of the time as well. I'm just going to do, with the maximum time I have, I'll answer a few questions that I can find here very, very quickly. Some question asked about minimum GMAT, GRE, and so on. There is no minimum. Everybody is obviously look at holistic manner, your experience that you bring in. If you don't have anything else, then obviously your academic results are going to be more important, obviously. So you have a variety of things that you're bringing to the class. We'll look at all that in our interview, in our assessment of what you have done, your suitability for the program. But obviously, if you have nothing else, then the grades are becoming a little bit more important. A competitive score differ from program to program. The requirements, some are more quantitative, some are highly sought after. The selection rates are higher. So it varies, but I think anything 600 plus, 650 plus, and so on are very competitive. And again, it depends what else you bring into your program. Assessments, a variety of assessments, different from, we don't have 100% exam. We split our assessment throughout the term. So I think that's a signal for my time, as well as our time has ended. So on behalf of Shantanu and my colleagues here from SMU, I want to thank everybody for taking time to be with us in this first session for Headhunt and in this round. So I pass it back to our host,